You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I only have a certain budget.
No problem. Right now at the LASIK Vision Institute, get 20% off LASIK when treated in April. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing options. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your journey towards 20/20 vision. Must mention this promotion and be treated in April of 2024 to qualify. 20% off standard price of wave light procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to GetLVILASIK.com for details. At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I'm so busy right now.
We offer a mix of convenient days and times, including 30-minute virtual appointments to fit your schedule.
I would love it, but I have astigmatism.
We treat thousands of patients with astigmatism every month with great outcomes. The LASIK Vision Institute is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your LASIK journey.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise sitting back.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Otherwise known
Bonus Chat Lives Matter Day right here live on KLRMradio.com. It's going to be a short week for us this week. Planning on doing shows today and tomorrow. I'm going to try Friday, maybe. We have house stuff going on Friday, so I may not be here Friday afternoon. I do plan on trying to be back Friday evening, one way or the other, but if something changes, I'll let you guys know. Also, don't forget we have Chat Lives Matter night tonight. Stacy is on break, so there will be a makeup episode of America Off the Rails because I didn't do one on Sunday. So that'll be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then I'll be back producing for the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show at 8. The newest addition to the talk radio lineup here on KLRMradio.com, Talk Murder to Me, launches tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern with our very own Laura and Aggie Reekin, so make sure you guys are tuning in for that one. And then, all things God willing and the creek don't rise, Ordy and I will be your closing act for the evening on the Rick and Ordy Show, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here live on KLRMradio.com. All right, so I think that's most of the housekeeping. Everybody's like, that was a different intro. Yeah, that's actually one I've had for a while. I just occasionally like to change things up, and I still haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this show yet, so we're kind of trying a few things on. Anyway, want to take a moment to say thank you for those of you listening that are hanging out in the chat room. Already starting to get some stuff in from the text line, so thank you to those of you responding there as well. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. For those of you driving all over the place, looking at you, Andrew, stay safe, my dude. Just saying. All right, anyway, so, good Lord, where to start? It's been... It's been a few days. I actually... Monday, I tried to take my first official full day off in quite some time. Didn't write for Twitchy, didn't write for any of my own stuff, and actually didn't really do any of this either. Now I feel like I'm behind, though. So now I feel like I've been scrambling all week. I know, a certain somebody's out there going, you deserve a break sometimes. I get it, I know. I'm a workaholic. I don't know what to do when I'm not working. Haven't quite been able to figure that out yet. But anyway, so where to start? Oh, we might as well start with the biggest news of the day. So Joe Biden has decided that he is in fact planning to debate Donald Trump, not once but twice. It looks like the first one will be sometime next month, so we hope to be carrying those live here on KLRNradio.com under our Poli-Sci 11 DMK banner so we can trash talk while they're doing them. As soon as we know more about those, we will definitely let you know. I... like a few other people that I interact with on social media, am not entirely convinced these things are going to happen. I have a feeling it's all going to be walked back by his media arm shortly. But they put out a heavily edited video that I may play later for you guys. Because there's like... First of all, it's only like a minute long, and there's like 5 cuts. I don't know how this man thinks he's going to be able to do an hour off the cuff when it's not just him. I mean, I get it. They're gonna pack him off to Delaware, fill him full of whatever they filled him for the State of the Union. But that's not the same as a debate. And he can't be pulling the Ich bin cheesy poof routine like he did during the debate, because the only thing that was missing was the Hitler stash and the salutes, because he was pretty much angry and shouty the entire time. If he tries to do that in a debate, it's not gonna go well. But here we are. Apparently there have now been 2 debates scheduled, one for next month, one for September. I'm curious to see who's going to be attending the debate in September, since I still half expect them to do some sort of super sneaky, super delegate stuff at the Democratic Convention in, I believe it's July this year, I think. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, I think it's not next month, but the following. I'll be really surprised to see him come out of that unscathed. I half expect a whole Ides of March scenario to happen there. And for those of you that have read Shakespeare, Caesar wasn't the hero, yo. That was some poetic license by Shakespeare. The actual story behind the Ides of March scenario were a bunch of senators trying to stop the Roman Republic from becoming the Roman Empire. So there could be some parallels. Sort of. Because Joe Biden is behaving a bit like an emperor. And I hate to put this image in your head, but if he is an emperor, he's basically the emperor with no clothes. or new clothes. I'm sorry. That's how that story is supposed to go, is the Emperor's new clothes. But you guys know what I meant. So anyway. People are puking all over the country right now, and for that I would say sorry, but I'm not. Anyway, so let's see. Where are we going to go first? Oh yeah, so this is the story tied to what I was just talking about a second ago. This is from our friends at Town Hall, written by Katie Pavlich today, put out at 12 p.m. Eastern. There will be 2 presidential debates between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, the first on June 27th and the second on September 10th, after both sides agreed on the calendar Wednesday morning. Former President Donald Trump has agreed to debate the current president on CNN on June 27th, said a person familiar with his thinking who was granted anonymity to discuss the issue. That decision was made shortly after President Joe Biden said he had received and accepted an invitation from the network, Politico reports. The agreement does not ensure the debate will happen, but it signals an interest in both camps to have a public sparring. They might want to invest in some bubble wrap if they're going to be sparring. Biden earlier in the day had said he would not participate in the Commission on Presidential Debates proposed schedule, and instead would agree to 2 forums with Trump, one in June, the other in September. But election watchers have noticed Biden's initial offer of just 2 debates with Trump breaks the norm and leaves voters with one less opportunity to see each candidate make their case. He's also trying to rig the system in his favor. This is from Nate Silver, who, by the way, is not a conservative by any stretch of the imagination. So Biden wants 2 debates instead of the traditional 3, and also wants them much earlier, which makes them less impactful. It's consistent with his strategic incentives, which are that he can't be seen as ducking debates, but he's not particularly confident that he will win them. This is from Vince Coglanes. The actual Biden debate news today. Biden is refusing to debate Trump in front of an audience of voters. His campaign is demanding big guardrails for Biden, including no audience, no RFK Jr., no Trump remarks. Oh, are you kidding me right now? No Trump remarks during Biden's answers. Only Biden-friendly outlets and anchors can moderate, from CBS, ABC, CNN, or Telemundo. Also, there's no way this is the actual rationale for Biden abandoning the Commission on Presidential Debates: COVID screening and mask enforcement. Yeah, I'm going to say I'm pretty sure the COVID ship sailed a while ago. So the fact that this is still coming up just kind of lets me know exactly how bad things have gotten. But, in case you were wondering, this is actually a letter on Biden-Harris letterhead. Dateline today. Dear Commission on Presidential Debates, President Joe Biden believes the interest of the American people are best served by presidential debates that offer timely and relevant information to help inform voters before they make their choices, and that allow a head-to-head comparison of the 2 candidates with a chance of winning the election. To that end, President Biden recently said he intended to debate former President Donald Trump in 2024 and intends to debate him twice. Vice President Harris also plans to debate her eventual opponent. For his part, Donald Trump has announced that he is prepared to have these debates anytime, anywhere. The purpose of this letter is to provide notice that the president will not be participating in the Commission on Presidential Debates announced debates in 2024 and plans to participate in debates hosted by news organizations. There are a number of reasons why the years-long presidential commission model for these debates is out of step with changes in the structure of our elections and the interest of voters. The reasons for this include, first, the commission schedule has debates that begin after the American people have a chance to cast their vote early and doesn't conclude until after tens of millions of Americans will have already voted. The Commission's failure to yet again schedule debates that will be meaningful to all voters, not just those who cast their ballots late in the fall or on Election Day, underscore the serious limitations of its outdated approach. yeah, so, fun times. Fun times. So, Joe Biden, again, dictating terms because he doesn't actually believe he's a president and behaves more like he's a dictator. So, yeah, fun times. So here's another little interesting tidbit that we'll be getting into later. We're fixing to take the first break of the show. So the inflation numbers are out again. They're not as good as everybody hoped. Again. So we'll be getting to that in a minute. This is the Rick Robinson Show. We are live right here on KLRMradio.com. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll be back in just a minute with the remainder of the show. And don't forget, we also have full programming lineup tonight, including the launch of the new show, Talk Murder to Me. So make sure you guys are back for that as well. But someone I know is cussing at me right now. All right, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
I'm a decent man. No, I ain't perfect, but I'm learning how to be the best I can. But I got demons collecting dust, and I buried them so damn far down so they can't find their way back up. So don't mistake my kindness for weakness, cause I can flip that switch and you can find out quick. There's a hell on the other side that you ain't met yet. Tread real light, dare you to light that fuse, cause I can be a loose cannon. Cross the line.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I only have a certain budget.
No problem. Right now at the LASIK Vision Institute, get 20% off LASIK when treated in April. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing options. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your journey towards 20/20 vision. Must mention this promotion and be treated in April of 2024 to qualify. 20% off standard price of wave light procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to GetLVILASIK.com for details. At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I'm so busy right now.
We offer a mix of convenient days and times, including 30-minute virtual appointments to fit your schedule.
I would love it, but I have astigmatism.
We treat thousands of patients with astigmatism every month with great outcomes. The LASIK Vision Institute is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. So visit getlvilasik.com today to start your LASIK journey.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Mama always said I was born on the wild side. 1 foot in the flames and the other trying to walk the line. Can't say I never saw it coming, I can see the warning signs. Mama always said I was born on the wild side. I guess Mama was right.
And welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I am Rick Robinson. This is my show. We do this thing usually every Tuesday through Friday between the hours of 3 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm hoping to get things back to normal by next week. This week's just been a little rough. So still going to try to do as much for you guys as I can this week. For those of you who are wondering, if you're just now tuning in, whatever, you can actually find archives on pretty much every podcast site known to man, including the one that we just promoted in the commercial break. It's actually becoming my new favorite, believe it or not. Anyway, so lots of stuff to talk about still. Let's see where we were going to go next. Actually, let's see. Bit of an audible, because I noticed this on break. So this is again from Town Hall. Katie Pavlich, again, seems to be on my sheet a lot today. The Department of Health and Human Services has officially cut off EcoHealth, a favorite group of Dr. Anthony Fauci that was illegally... if you've been paying attention for a while, you know we told you guys this was happening, even though they kept saying that it wasn't. So I'm going to start over. The Department of Health and Human Services has officially cut off EcoHealth, a favorite group of Dr. Anthony Fauci that was illegally conducting gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Technology when the COVID-19 pandemic broke out. They have now been cut off from receiving federal grants through the NIH. The group has also been debarred, and all active grants have been frozen. EcoHealth Alliance and Dr. Peter Daszak should never again receive a single penny from the U.S. taxpayer. Only 2 weeks after the Select Subcommittee released an extensive report detailing EcoHealth's wrongdoing and recommending the formal debarment of EcoHealth and its president, HHS has begun efforts to cut off all U.S. funding to this corrupt organization. House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic Chairman Brad Wenstrup released in a statement Wednesday, EcoHealth facilitated gain-of-function research, remember that thing they said they weren't doing, in Wuhan, China, without proper oversight, willingly violated multiple requirements of its multi-million-dollar National Institutes of Health grant, and apparently made false statements to the NIH. These actions are wholly abhorrent, indefensible, and must be addressed with swift action. EcoHealth's immediate funding suspension and future debarment is not only a victory for the U.S. taxpayer, but also for American national security and the safety of citizens worldwide. So, so that thing that they get, oh no, there's no gain-of-function studies. We're not doing those. We're not doing them here. We're not doing them anywhere. Everybody that tried to say that we were, including myself and my morning show co-host of the time, Stacey Lennox, were basically blackballed everywhere, and our ratings were severely limited. Nobody could see our content anymore because they knew. Because they knew. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't even something that I planned on talking about today. It really isn't, but we need to talk about this because the simple fact of the matter is Whether you realize it or not, your government is not on your side anymore and hasn't been for quite some time. I need you to understand that there are people that were embedded within our government and have been across multiple administrations that didn't like Donald Trump. Now, you can like the man, you can hate the man. I'm kind of in the middle. A lot of people call him Satan. A lot of people think he's the next Jesus. I don't think he's either one. I think he's a man. But I do know, as I've said on this show multiple times, that if you remove the final year of his administration and the first year of Biden's administration to remove COVID from the equation, the previous 3 years versus the current 3 years were a hell of a lot better than what we have today. You have Joe Biden, who just lied again yesterday, claiming that when he took office, inflation was nearly 10%. It was 1.7%. Now, what I need you to understand is there is creative accounting that goes on no matter who's in office to make inflation look less than it is. So the actual inflation rate, even during that time, was probably about 3 times higher than what it actually was listed as, because there's things that they remove from the equations. All of the things that you and I have to pay for on a regular basis, they don't figure those into inflation because it makes things skyrocket. And then we start seeing exactly how broken everything is, and they don't want us to know that. But even with those creative accounting measures, at this point, inflation is nuts. So I need you to realize that even with the numbers that they're talking about today, if you go look at the actual pricing, you're seeing things that are 20, 30% higher than they used to be. Now, some of that is actually the businesses trying to combat their costs and the things that are more expensive to them, but you don't have Biden explaining that part of it to you. He just talks about this thing called shrinkflation because the evil corporations are trying to take more of your money. No, the evil corporations are trying to stay in business because you're killing everything. Hell, I just saw today that Red Lobster is filing bankruptcy. Now, I understand as somebody that had actually considered opening a restaurant before because I love to cook, I understand the razor-thin margins in the food industry. I really do. But when something like Red Lobster that has like signature things that are sold in grocery stores and everything else is like, we're going to have to close a bunch of stores and we're about to file for bankruptcy and do some restructuring. If that doesn't tell you exactly how broken our economy is, I don't really know what to tell you. Because I will tell you that when everything went sideways and started turning upside down as far as prices, there was a brief time that it was actually cheaper to go out to eat than it was to go to the store. And I remember I was like, I can go get, fast food for $20-25 and eat off of that for the next 2 nights. Or I can go spend $40 at the store and get enough stuff to basically eat for the next 2 nights. Because we're all living through it. But that's not true anymore. So people have less disposable income, which is by design, in case you haven't figured that out yet. They want you broke. They need you broke. Because at some point, if enough people are broke, they're going to start crying out for help. And then the government gets to swoop in and say, this is what we're going to do to save you. And at that point, anybody that takes a bite out of that apple is going to be beholden to them for the rest of their lives, and there will be absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. This is where we are. This is where we're headed. And this proves it, because COVID was planned. This show may never be heard again after today as far as this episode, because I'm saying things that will get this episode flagged, but it is the truth. I told you guys a long time ago, as soon as we knew, my co-host that I did the morning show with, that I do the whatever show with, usually on Wednesday nights, who is on vacation this week, is a nurse. And she was one of the first ones pointing out that natural viruses don't have synthetic spike proteins. She pointed it out several times through PJ Media. And then bigger names that got a hold of it started running with it and started using her work, and she got kind of upset. But then the bigger names got smacked all around, and she's still here, so maybe there's an upside to them taking my work and running with it, because at least I never got in half the trouble that they got into. But again, this goes back to things that we've been talking about for a long time. So we're going to finish this one and then take a break. The White Coat Waste Project, which has been leading the charge for pandemic accountability, is applauding the current move to defund this group, as are others who have been pushing for answers and action. I happen to be one of those people who has been pushing for answers for a long time. As the group that first exposed and ended EcoHealth's batty boondoggle with the Wuhan Animal Lab and uncovered damning documents detailing how EcoHealth's reckless gain-of-function experiments probably infected patient zero and prompted the pandemic, we're thrilled that EcoHealth is finally being held accountable for lying, wasting taxpayers' money, breaking the law, abusing animals, and threatening public health. White Coat Waste Project president and founder Anthony Bellotti released in a statement. Since 2020, we have been leading efforts with lawmakers to defund EcoHealth because our investigations have documented how they've raked in $60 million of new taxpayers' cash just since the pandemic, when it began, including $4 million just last month. We're proud that we've helped ensure that taxpayers are never again forced to fund EcoHealth's wasteful and dangerous virus hunting and animal experimentation. The solution is simple. Stop the money, stop the madness. Bellotti continued. So finally, we're starting to get some answers. Now, I just want to recap what we know so far. So we now know that there was, in fact, gain-of-function studies, which we've known here at KLR Radio for a long time. We also know that most of what Anthony Fauci used as public health information regarding COVID was panacea, meaning we knew the masks wouldn't work. Anybody who understands basic biology understands masks won't work because the holes that allow you to breathe are larger than the viruses. We also know that the 6-month social distancing, which I just saw touted again yesterday in a medical journal, was basically something somebody pulled out of thin air, to put it nicely. They had debated on whether there would be any type of distancing that would help at all. Then when they decided they needed to come up with something, they then debated whether it was going to be 3 foot, 5 foot, or 6 foot. Anyway. But yeah, so as we get ready to take the break, just a reminder, these are things that we've been saying for a very, very long time. These are things that have been true the entire time, and yet we were silenced. Just saying. Alright, this one's kind of fitting. Never heard it before, but the title kind of grabbed me because it's the name of the show I'm going to be doing tonight instead of whatever. So we're going to go to break with this one. Hang on, as soon as I get it to load. Alright, so in case you've never heard it before, it's Off the Rails by Brantley Gilbert. We're going to take a quick break, let this play for a second, and then we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Whiskey whistle and well, you can go on, punch your ticket. It's gonna be a ride you won't forget. It's going down like Charlie Daniels. Get loud like rock and Randall. Get your left hand on that mason and your right on that old shit handle. Run it off the rails, kick it in the 4-wheel, set it on fire, smoke it like a shine steel. Cold rolling, you know we're banging hell bells. Twin stacking, we banging, we yelling hell yeah. Hell no, baby, ain't no slowing down. They're gonna call a law, then they better do it now. Tonight we're gonna run it off the rails.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I only have a certain budget.
No problem. Right now at the LASIK Vision Institute, get 20% off LASIK when treated in April. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing options. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your journey towards 20/20 vision. Must mention this promotion and be treated in April of 2024 to qualify. 20% off standard price of wave light procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to GetLVILASIK.com for details. At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I'm so busy right now.
We offer a mix of convenient days and times, including 30-minute virtual appointments to fit your schedule.
I would love it, but I have astigmatism.
We treat thousands of patients with astigmatism every month with great outcomes. The LASIK Vision Institute is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your LASIK journey.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
The dawn is breaking, all light shining through. You're barely waking, but entangled up in you.
Welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. Getting caught up with the chat through text and through the website itself. So just going to read through a few things real quick. As we come back from break, don't forget we got top of the hour coming next. So another full hour coming with you. This will be the final segment of the hour. And then I'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern doing a makeup episode of America Off the Rails, followed by the Conservative Curmudgeon Show, Talk Murder to Me, the newest addition to KLRNradio.com, and then Rick and Orty as your nightcap. So if 2 hours of me wasn't enough, you get 4 more later, pretty much in one form or another. All right, so anyway, we are here, we are live, and Andrew, getting caught up in the chat here, or in the text line from earlier. If Biden does the angry shouting man, Trump can just look at him, point towards him, and look at the camera and go, is this what y'all really want for America? And I read that and died laughing, which is why it took me a minute to share it with you guys. Then in response to the fact that they want you broke and need you broke, his response to that was, and they keep raising taxes because that's how they can make us all broke. I wish I could say you were wrong, my dude. I really, really do, but yeah. I know you heard most of the first month that I did when I broke down, the over 100-year slide it took to get us here, and how the progressive tax code was part of the things that put us here, along with decoupling us from the dollar and creating the Federal Reserve, and all of those weird things that had to happen just right to get us to this point. Because, and I've had this discussion with people in person on the air before all of that happened. We had the most Republican way of fundraising this government ever. They had to tell you what they wanted to do with the money, and then you decided whether you were going to buy bonds to fund those individual projects. So if they got funding, they got done. If they didn't, they couldn't. And that's one of the reasons why once they figured out we were okay with the tax, even for a short term, the Democrats kept screaming and yelling to have a tax put in place again. And the Republicans, thinking we were smart enough to think for ourselves, said, well, okay, fine. Since you keep coming back to the well for this, we're going to shut it down once and for all, and we'll have the states decide and basically follow the process to have the Constitution amended. And they did, and insanity won the day, and pretty much insanity has been winning the day ever since. So anyway, other comments from the chat, from Zelda, it looked like. COVID wasn't planned, but China didn't really do anything to stop it. I probably should have said that a little bit better than I did, which is why I'm backing up. I don't think the outbreak itself was planned yet, but I do know that our response was planned, and how China handled it was planned, because if you remember, in China, the word crisis and opportunity are the same. So China saw a chance to try to deal a blow to the world that it hoped we might not be able to recover from, and tried to insulate itself from that fact by cutting off travel from anyone within Wuhan province to the rest of their country, while still allowing them to leave the country itself and travel elsewhere. So while I don't think the release of the virus was on purpose, I do think that both the Chinese and the liberal parties in this country found an opportunity to get rid of someone that they deemed problematic and used it to their benefit in many, many ways, including trying to lie to the American people about how COVID-19 came to be in the first place, and threatening anybody's licensure who tried to tell them. So, no, I cannot prove to you with 100% certainty that COVID was released onto the world intentionally. I can tell you that enough things have happened that shouldn't have happened after it was released that I still have serious questions. But I guess that's neither here nor there, because, yeah, like I said, this wasn't even on my topic list today, but I happened to notice it. Alright, so if you've been watching the news, you know that the Banana Republic of New York has currently got Donald Trump on trial, so we have things we're going to talk about with that today as well. One of the things that I would like to point out, because it doesn't seem like very many people, now a lot of people have talked about it, but nobody seems to notice that for the man who said that he did everything at the direction of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump knew every single thing that was going on, one, I find it really hard to believe that a businessman like Trump would have paid hush money by check if it was in fact to try to protect the campaign, instead of just doing what he always does and trying to make problems go away. And I get it. He's a slime ball. Say whatever you want to say. I don't really care. Rich people go through this all the time. They have insurance companies in place for when they have to go through these kind of things, because it happens all the time. And it's just a fact of being wealthy and well known. Somebody's going to come out, say that you did something stupid, and instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, trying to save your reputation in public and save your reputation through civil court, you simply say, look, we're going to give you this, you're going to sign this, you're going to go away, we're never going to hear from you again. Because it's easier and less problematic, especially in the time frame that we are talking about, because that's when #MeToo, and I'm sorry, as a child of the 70s, putting a pound sign in front of Me Too was a really, really bad idea. Not saying anything else. So this is the other thing. So Cohen recently made a huge admission in the New York City Trump case, and now a lot of things are starting to fall into place. This is from Victoria Taft, PJ Media, Dateline, yesterday. Well. What in the world does the prosecution of Donald Trump in Manhattan for bookkeeping charges have to do with the DOJ Special Counsel Robert Mueller and Russia? Seems interesting that we are just now beginning to understand a few more things about this Jenga-like prosecution of Donald Trump. Other than the feds in the form of the Southern District of New York federal prosecutors and the Federal Elections Commission declining to prosecute Trump for his payments to his attorney, we learned Tuesday that Robert Mueller's special counsel office wanted a piece of Michael Cohen before he reported to prison. In 2018, indeed, when all the questions are answered, we might discover that it was Mueller's pit bull, Andrew Weissman, the FBI and the DOJ, who were responsible for his bizarre plea deal that sparked the idea for this wrong-headed case. You'll find Weissman all over MSDNC, opining that the Manhattan case, opining on the Manhattan case and telling the audience there that Trump is guilty of something in his accounting brouhaha. But this is what happened on Tuesday. Cohen's testimony, when prosecutors asked him about those situations, Cohen is testifying that he met with special counsel Robert Mueller's office several times before reporting to prison. Cohen first met with special counsel's office in 2018 before pleading guilty, and he says he was not truthful because I was still holding on to the loyalty. I was still holding on to the loyalty to President Trump. After pleading guilty, Cohen said he testified truthfully in subsequent meetings with Mueller's team. So, now granted, this is just from a guy that actually seriously considered going into the law at one point and took a different direction with it when, again, irony of ironies, I discovered I was terrified of public speaking. I know. Funny now. Not so much then. First question I would have asked, and I don't know if they did or not, because we get very limited information from the courtroom. Were you lying before then, or were you lying then? So after pleading guilty, he said he testified truthfully to in meetings with Mueller's team. You will recall that Cohen received less time from federal prosecutors for cheating on his income taxes and lying to a bank, and then, despite not having anything to do with this fraud case, agreeing to plead guilty to 2 counts of campaign election violations. As Andy McCarthy noted recently, Cohen pled guilty to the campaign violations without those violations ever being litigated. McCarthy noted that these charges were never tested in court. He marveled at why someone would plead guilty to these charges when both the feds and the Federal Elections Commission declined to bring them because these weren't campaign expenditures and were not illegal in 2018. McCarthy made the point that Cohen pled guilty to charges that weren't crimes. Why did Cohen do that? Cohen could have been in prison for a long time for all the charges against him. The graph from a DOJ document shows how much time he could have spent behind bars. And doing the math here real quick, it could have been a total of 55 years. In December 2018, the feds, who happily put all manner of Trump supporters in prison for long stretches, gave Cohen a 3-year term out of a potential 55-year term. He noted on the stand Tuesday that he's still on probation. In his testimony, the prosecution was allowed to note that Cohen went to prison for his crimes, including campaign finance violations that weren't violations of the law. This obviously will telegraph to the jury that these 34 charges in New York must be illegal campaign expenditures. That's the story the prosecution has been allowed to tell the jury, even though they've charged only the bookkeeping charges. We don't know to what extent the disgraced Mueller team had a hand, if any, in the plea bargain deal for fake campaign crimes, but justice did. Cohen is mentioned in the Mueller report 75 times. On page 61 of the report, it discusses things about Trump that have been redacted because to reveal them would cause harm to an ongoing matter. It's not clear what that ongoing matter is, though. Tuesday, we found out that without a doubt there was a conspiracy that was planned to get Trump by any means necessary, even on flimsy legal payments to stop stories from making it into the news cycle, which is really common for rich people if you listen to the guy from the Inquirer, by the way. This is what constitutional lawyer Mike Davis believes happened. A criminal conspiracy by all levels of prosecutors. If Trump makes it back into office, he told me on this week's podcast he will insist on investigation and prosecution of these conspiracies. The Article 3 Project founder has been studying this issue for 22 months. I'm reading James Rosen's book about former Attorney General John Mitchell for an upcoming Adult in the Room podcast. Here's a quote I found in Rosen's The Strong Man and the Secrets of Watergate that was right on point about using lawfare to aid the deep state's ability to prosecute anyone of their choosing. Peter Fleming defended Mitchell in the Roberts Vesco trial and won him an acquittal in the middle of Watergate, no less. One of these days, Fleming told Judge Gagliardi, we are going to find that we reach a due process point where, by the sheer proliferation of charges, a government can and will force a man either to admit guilt, which he does not feel, or to bankrupt himself. The economics of these things are overwhelming. Call it what you will, but none call it justice. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I would like to remind you that as we do not have our cameras trained and our news reporters trained on the proceedings in the Banana Republic of New York, that the number 3 person in Biden's DOJ took a job reporting directly to Alvin Bragg and was also the person giving opening statements during this trial for the prosecution. But no, it's not a political witch hunt. It's not a political hatchet job. It's none of those things. It's the pursuit of justice, Rick. You just don't understand. We're pursuing justice. You just don't understand because you like Donald Trump. No, I understand perfectly. I understand perfectly that a person has gotten so far under your skin that you are willfully watching due process be slaughtered in this country, that you are willfully watching our rights being stripped away from us day by day, piece by piece, inch by inch, all because you like the guy who's currently sitting in the seat, supposedly. What I don't understand, though, is so many of you currently dislike the guy who's sitting in the seat. What, you dislike the other guy more? Is that what it is? I mean, look, I get it. Biden to a lot of you who do not eat, sleep, and breathe this the way that I have for nearly the last 20 years, he was an unknown quantity. He seemed more stable than Emperor Hirohito, Lord Spraytan. Lord Jeezy Poof, whatever your preferred nickname was for him in 2016, because I had one too. But he's not an unknown quantity anymore. The problem is he wasn't an unknown quantity then either. This man has tried to run for office before as far as being president and was shot down because he's a liar. Why does this matter? Because the prime witness in this case, who was constructed by a liar to take out his opponent, is a man who has been convicted of perjury and, according to another court, is considered a serial perjurer. Now, why does that matter? Because there's something that I've heard a lot of talking heads on TV say, but none of them seem to catch what he actually said. Yesterday, Cohen said that he falsified invoices to the Trump Organization. Not for, but to. And I ask you this again. Since what he was doing was technically illegal or legal, but still considered immoral, why would a man as smart as Donald Trump write a check for hush money? I submit to you that the man who we know is, according to a judge, a serial perjurer, went to Donald Trump with a plan and didn't fill him in. Is it really that much of a stretch to think that an attorney who is apparently as shifty as this one wouldn't have said, hey, I'm going to take care of it. You just pay me my retainer and this is what I need from you. Because that's exactly how it was billed. Legal expenses. I haven't gotten to look at his books. I don't know if he's paid the rest of the hush money payments that he's had to make over the years by check. I don't know if they're listed as, as payment for non-disclosures. But I do know it's not a campaign finance violation. I had this argument with someone again today on social media who was like, this is not true, and this is inconvenient for you and inconvenient for Trump because we all know that he broke the law. Except we still don't even know specifically what he's been charged with. There are felony charges in this indictment that are still undisclosed to the defense. I have never seen that before. We are in the trial phase, and the defense still doesn't understand what it is specifically that they have to defend this man against. And what's worse is so far the prosecution hasn't proven anything other than Cohen executed a non-disclosure agreement and paid the person for their silence, which is not illegal. Now, we can debate morality all day long, and I'm willing to do that. But if we're going to debate morality, for those of you screaming how, he's not a Christian, he's not this, he's not that, I would like to remind each and every one of you that King David had an affair. It is not up to you to decide who God uses. That's God's choice. That's God's choice, not yours. All right. Top of the hour. We'll be right back. Whole nother hour with me, if you can stand it. Stay tuned.
This is what I came here to do. I walk that wire and I take that step. Won't look down, got no regrets. Won't look down, got no regrets.
the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I only have a certain budget.
No problem. Right now at the LASIK Vision Institute, get 20% off LASIK when treated in April. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing options. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your journey towards 20/20 vision. Must mention this promotion and be treated in April of 2024 to qualify. 20% off standard price of wave light procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to GetLVILASIK.com for details. At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I'm so busy right now.
We offer a mix of convenient days and times, including 30-minute virtual appointments to fit your schedule.
I would love it, but I have astigmatism.
We treat thousands of patients with astigmatism every month with great outcomes. The LASIK Vision Institute is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your LASIK journey.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And welcome back into the program. Top of hour 2 of the Rick Robinson Show coming at you right now live on KLRMradio.com. Again, we do this thing every Tuesday through Friday. Usually, this past couple of weeks has been a little bit different. Hoping to get things back to normal starting next week. But again, maybe short schedule because I have folks coming in to do home-related stuff on Friday, and I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be allowed back into home. So we shall see. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. It's also, again, Chat Lives Matter Day. Live right here on KLRMradio.com. We'll be Chat Lives Matter Night here in just a little bit. Again, no whatever tonight. There will be a makeup episode of the America Off the Rails show, followed by myself producing for the Conservative Curmudgeon, and then myself producing for Talk Murder to Me, the newest edition here on KLRM Radio. And I may chime in on that one. Maybe. I don't know. It's not really my thing. And as much as it's pretty easy for me to memorize enough material to wing it, I don't really like doing that often. Now, I've been doing politics long enough that I can do that fairly quickly. New stuff sometimes takes me a while, and it's one of the reasons why Ordy and I only do juxtaposition every 2 weeks, because it's a really deep research kind of show. Speaking of which, the plan is to do the makeup for that this Saturday, because I wasn't feeling well, he wasn't feeling well, so we still have part 2 of the whole JFK CIA thing that was making the rounds here a couple of weeks ago again, because we always seem to be ahead of the curve here on KLR Radio. I don't really know how we always manage to do that, but we usually are. Anyway, so again, before we went to break, top of the hour, we were talking about how there was a very specific word choice that Cohen used, and I haven't really heard too many people talking about it. Now, I do know that if it was, a made-for-TV movie or, Law and Order or whatever, that the defense would have been, I'm sorry, did you say 2 or 4? And then there would have likely been a correction, and that would have been, well, were you lying then, or are you lying now? Those kind of things don't happen that often. Let me explain, because as somebody who has friends who are attorneys, who understands contract law and stuff enough to be able to write my own contracts when I need to, because I've done that before too, one of the first things you're taught in law school is, as an attorney, you never ask a question that you do not already know the answer to. So one of the first things I kept hearing everybody say is, well, when he slipped up like that, why didn't they bring attention to that? Well, first, they still may tomorrow, because the defense gets a whole nother however long with him until they excuse him. I would be really surprised if they do, though, because this is already part of the record, and it would be a perfect thing for the closing argument. I would like to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that the prosecution's chief witness, who said that Donald Trump was aware of everything that was going on, when pressed in further detail about what he did, when he did it, and why he did it, did not say that he falsified invoices for them, but falsified invoices to give to them. Why would he say that if the man in charge knew everything that was going on? That is the difference between TV attorneys and, in real life, good attorneys and great attorneys. When you save things for closing arguments. We will now see which one Donald Trump has, because if they do open that can of worms tomorrow, it gives him a chance to walk it back, and of course then they can do the whole, well, were you lying Tuesday, or are you lying now? But that never really is the gotcha moment. They always make it look like it is on TV either. So we will see. Alright, so what else did we have on tap today? Oh, this is interesting. Hang on, let me get this queued up. I want you guys to hear this, because this is just to let you know exactly how screwed up things have gotten in Ukraine. It's not a very long clip, but here we go.
Working with the government and civil society groups to shore up Ukraine's election infrastructure. That way, as soon as Ukrainians agree the conditions allow, all Ukrainians, including those displaced by Russia's aggression, can exercise their right to vote. People in Ukraine and around the world can have confidence that the voting process is free, fair, secure. Working with the government.
All right, so I need you to understand exactly what that was. That was Anthony Blinken, the guy that is just partying like a rock star over in Ukraine, pointing out that elections in Ukraine are suspended and will be until all Ukrainians can vote. All of them. I don't know if very many people understand what that means. That means that at this point, Zelensky has been, in fact, made the de facto ruler of Ukraine. He has no ability to be removed short of extraordinary measures, which we will not go into today, because you guys know what they are. And it was at the urging of the United States of America. So the guy who keeps claiming that he's trying to keep a dictator from assuming the White House again is continuing to act more and more and more like a dictator. I mean, I hate to keep going over all this stuff, but we've talked about this over and over and over again, but it feels like we need to talk about it again. The Hunter Biden laptop story was quashed by the government. Ashley Biden diary story, quashed by the government. Yet both of those things are now being viewed as completely factual. Hell, Snopes had a fit when Ashley Biden came out and said, yeah, that's my diary, and I know what's in it. I need you to understand what this means. This means that Joe Biden, according to his own daughter, took showers with her. Now, these are the same people, and I will admit it made my skin crawl, but these are the same people that when Donald Trump said if she wasn't my daughter, I'd date her, about his own daughter, they had a cow. And I'm not saying I didn't either. That was a very cringy moment. That was several cringy moments that made it really hard for me in 2016, which is why I didn't vote for him in 2016. I did in 2020, and I will be again in 2024, because of the choices that we have available, he is the best possible option that we currently have access to. Is he who I wanted? Not really. I really didn't want the Tapioca wars to continue, is what I'm going to start calling these two debates, I think. Two old men throwing pudding. Somebody in the chat is laughing about me calling other people old men, but that's another story. Anyway. But yeah, so here we sit. We now have Anthony Blinken basically admitting that Ukraine will not have an election until the war with Russia is over. Not only that, until all of Ukrainian land has been restored. You have to understand, Crimea was invaded not under Biden, but Obama. And the Obama administration did absolutely nothing about it. So we now have Anthony Blinken telling the world that Ukraine will not have another election until all Ukrainians are allowed to vote again. So they just installed a dictator. Why do you suppose they did that? Now, I would like to remind you that a certain president was impeached over a phone call to Volodymyr Zelensky, asking him to look into why Joe Biden was allowed to and executed a quid pro quo while vice president, because a lot of people didn't seem to notice this, but he did. And I've played the audio on this show before where he's admitted on video that in, I believe it was 2006, I think. Was it? No. Yeah. Maybe. Was it? Shit. No, it wasn't 2006. Couldn't have been. I don't remember the exact date. I know it was somewhere into the middle of his second term, but my brain just went, never mind. But anyway, basically on video admitting that while in Ukraine, he met with them and said, hey, this money that you're supposed to get, yeah, you're not getting it. Because there was a certain prosecutor that was supposed to have been removed as part of this agreement, and you guys didn't do that. So if you don't do it right now, because I'm going to be here for about another 6 hours, then the money's going with me when I leave. And they said, well, you can't do that. You don't have the authority. And he said, if you don't believe me, call Barack Obama. He'll tell you. And his exact words, and here it was less than 6 hours later, and, well, son of a bitch, they fired him. Now, the interesting thing about this prosecutor, it's the same one that was going to be investigating Burisma, which is one of the places where we now know that Hunter Biden was able to exert influence using his dad's name. And we know that because it's now been proven out over time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I've been trying to explain for a very long time as we get ready to go to the monologue break. Anything the left accuses their opponent of doing, they're already doing, and they don't want you to notice. So they scream and yell and jump up and down and flail their arms, hoping that you'll pay attention to, hey, look, he's doing this. Don't pay attention to the fact that I'm actually the one doing it, because he's doing it. And it's been a way of life for a very, very long time. It's not a good thing. It's really not. But it's just the way things are. But we have to make a decision. Are we going to keep allowing things to be the way they are and the way they've been for a while? Or are we going to start doing things to make things better? So as we get ready to go to break, just a quick reminder, if you feel overwhelmed, because I know a lot of you do what you can to make your current corner of the world a better place. Help those around you, shore up your family, make sure your resources are stable, and then worry about everything else. Because at least that way, if things go the way I think they're going to go, it might not hurt you so much. All right, well, on that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Still lots more stuff to talk about. Like the mayor of New York City, who basically stuck his foot in his mouth up to his hip and still doesn't realize it. But we will talk about that when we come back. Stay tuned.
Just like hide and seek, doing everything trying to hide my shame. That's when I heard your voice calling out to me. 1, 2, 3, no need for hiding. 4, 5, 6, it's already forgotten. 7, 8, 9, 10, if you're ready or not, here I come.
At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I only have a certain budget.
No problem. Right now at the LASIK Vision Institute, get 20% off LASIK when treated in April. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing options. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your journey towards 20/20 vision. Must mention this promotion and be treated in April of 2024 to qualify. 20% off standard price of wave light procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to GetLVILASIK.com for details. At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I'm so busy right now.
We offer a mix of convenient days and times, including 30-minute virtual appointments to fit your schedule.
I would love it, but I have astigmatism.
We treat thousands of patients with astigmatism every month with great outcomes. The LASIK Vision Institute is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your LASIK journey.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Outside it's 1933, so I'm hitting the bar, and I don't know what's going on anymore. The wall outside is burning with a brand new light, but it isn't one that makes me feel warm. Don't come and taking your house burning down from the dawn. Don't come and taking your house burning down from the dawn. For the dawn!
Little Frank Turner, 1933, coming back from the break, because kind of feel like we're living in 1933, if I'm being honest. In between political show trials and our campuses being fully anti-Semitic now, it's kind of starting to feel a lot like 1933. Anyway, so hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Thank you so much for hanging out. Got about half the hour left for you. For those of you working for the weekend, if you're on the East Coast, you got a little over 30 minutes. If you're in God's time zone, you got about an hour and a half. If you're in the in West Coast time zone, why the hell haven't you moved yet? And if you are Mountain time zone, nobody cares. Anyway, so I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Don't forget, we'll be back live tonight for 4 more hours, starting with yours truly doing a makeup of America off the rails. And then the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show, followed by the premiere of Talk Murder to Me, and then also, God willing, the creek don't rise. Orty and I will be your nightcap on the Rick and Orty Show. I don't know why I'm talking so much more like an Okie today. Anyway, we're going to roll with it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it live, damn it. All right, anyway. So before we get into the whole anti-Semitism thing, I kind of feel like you guys need to hear this part. Corinne Jean-Pierre, or as I have a couple of nicknames for her. My original one was Corinne Jean-Air, and then she got her hair did, so now she reminds me of Sideshow Bob every time I see her. So this is from our friends at The Blaze. This was Dateline Today by Chris Enlow. Karine Jean-Pierre is raising more questions than she is providing answers, which, if you'll remember, is why I told you guys last week that the Biden administration has actually been trying to figure out how to get rid of her for about the last year, but they can't because she's both lesbian and black, so they're kind of stuck. It's kind of like that. Remember that attorney from Rocky V, touch me and I'll sue? Yeah, I think that's what they're afraid of. The only difference is Rocky finally gave up and punched the crap out of the guy and said, sue me for what? Anyway. So White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre raised eyebrows on Tuesday with a perplexing answer about Donald Trump's hush money trial. And we'll get into this part in a minute, so I'm going to play the audio first. Hang on. I want you guys to hear this. Because what she said isn't wrong. Just kind of proves what everybody else has been saying all along. Oh, hang on. Volume's being cranky, I think. Maybe. Weird. Now, why is that not playing through there when it was just playing a second ago? Let's try this. Hang on. That was not what I was trying to do, though. I did find something else I was looking for, though, so if I can figure out why they've suddenly stopped playing, I can do that in a minute. Yay for systems being cranky. I don't... Oh, is the site muted? Maybe that's what it is. Yep, it is. Oh, that's right, because it was playing right
Johnson to show up at.
Alright, so now that I know why you guys couldn't hear it, let's watch this from the beginning. Maybe.
Was it appropriate for Speaker Johnson to show up at the trial of the former president today?
So look, I can't speak to, don't want to comment, obviously, as this is related to 2024 elections, and I can't speak to the speaker's schedule. That is something for him to decide on. And
all right, so I need you to pay attention to what she just said. I can't comment about this because it's related to the 2024 elections. So if you remember, when all of the really shady stuff came out about Hillary's bathroom server and everything else, and the head of the FBI was like, yeah, there's some stuff that's here, but we're not going to do this because it's too close to an election, and we don't want to influence the voters. Her saying this lines up directly with how these things have been handled up until now. The problem is this one isn't being handled that way. So by refusing to comment while admitting that it has direct ties to the 2024 election, says the quiet part out loud, the part that you and I and anybody that listens to us and the other groups like us have been saying all along, that we know that these trials were specifically designed to cause as much damage to Donald Trump and his poll numbers and his election possibility as possible. The problem is, everything they thought was going to destroy him, for the most part, seems like it's actually making him a little bit stronger. Now, that doesn't mean it's all coming up roses for the former president right now, and I need you guys to understand, if you look at these numbers, he is losing suburban votes quite handily, even in red states, because depending on the suburban population of these states, anywhere between 15 to 30% is still going to Nikki Haley, who has not been in the race for a very long time. Now, while this doesn't concern me as well, the reason this doesn't concern me as much as it might have under other circumstances is because Joe Biden is facing that same scenario. He has more and more people basically voting other or voting no confidence or whatever they can do in their state to say that we don't want this guy, but I'm still going to go vote. So I think they both have a lot of the same road to hoe. Now, whether it's going to continue to be that way through November, I really don't know. I don't honestly understand at this point why anyone would be supporting either Joe Biden or the Democratic Party as a whole right now, since they have basically proven yet again to be the racist Nazis of America. And I know that nobody likes when I say that, and you don't understand, Rick. They're not really the racists. Let me explain to you why they are. And I was going to try to find this clip, and I can't seem to find it. But I need you to understand something, and if you paid attention to the news all the day, you've probably heard it at least once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. You have the mayor of New York City talking about a job shortage and how they need lifeguards for the coming summer. And how they have lots of people that are currently in the country and in their city who have proven that they're really good swimmers. But they can't work because of the work restrictions. Now, I need you to understand something, because if this was said by a white Republican, New York City would be on fire right now. But they are allowed to say whatever they say, because while we try to insist that everybody stand up on their own and take care of themselves with assistance when necessary, they have always couched everything they've tried to do with a soft bigotry of low expectations that sounds like they're being compassionate. And this is another one of those instances. The mayor of New York City basically said, well, we know these people can swim. Let's get them jobs. Does that sound as weird and as crazy to everybody else as it sounds to me, or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm really settling into my old man yelling at kids to get off my lawn phase and shaking my fist at clouds. Maybe that's where I am now. I just know that if this was anybody else, anywhere else, the media would have had a fit. A straight up, no questions asked, full blown, like Tourette style fit, right on air. Thinking of certain MSDNC hosts and hostesses as we speak. So, this is another one. Remember those bridge strikes that keep happening? Well, there's another one. So, and then we're going to go to break. A barge strikes Galveston Bridge, causing oil spill, power outage, and traffic shutdown. The crash left those on nearby Pelican Island stranded. A barge has caused a major disturbance to those in the Galveston, Texas area after it struck a bridge connecting Galveston to Pelican Island, leaving those on the island stranded and temporarily without power. Nearly 7 miles of the Gulf Intercoastal Waterway had to be shut down because of an oil spill from that barge. Just before 10 a.m. on Wednesday, a tugboat pushing 2 barges lost control, causing one barge owned by Martin Petroleum to strike the unused railroad tracks that run along the Pelican Island Causeway, as well as 2 telephone poles. The current was very bad and the tide was high, and he lost it, said David Flores, the bridge superintendent with the Galveston County Navigation District. The causeway is the only means for motor vehicles to access Pelican Island, the home of Texas A&M University at Galveston. The collision caused a portion of the rail track to collapse onto the barge. 2 individuals on the barge either fell or jumped into the water as a result of the accident, but they were quickly rescued. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported at this time. The accident also caused a number of inconveniences for those on land. For one thing, the bridge had to be closed for hours, leaving Pelican Island residents stranded. Officials have considered evacuating the island by boat, though whether any residents have yet been removed from it is unclear. Pelican Island also lost power for some time after the crash, though a secondary source soon restored power by 1 p.m. TMU at Galveston likely has few people on campus as graduation was held early this month, but the university did offer, good Lord, cannot talk today, Captain's Landing as a location where those still on campus can access food. Finally, 6.5 miles of the coast waterway had to be shut down because of an oil spill from the barge. The barge has an oil capacity of 30,000 gallons and was leaking what has been described as vacuum gas oil. The extent of the oil spill has not yet been determined. but officials with the U.S. Coast Guard are assessing the situation and are expected to give an update and a report about containment measures soon. Folks in Galveston can still drive along Harborside Drive, though police are in the area to divert traffic from the bridge. One lane of the bridge has already reportedly been reopened, but officials with the Texas Department of Transportation will determine when regular traffic may resume. Martin Petroleum Corp. did not respond to phone calls from Reuters seeking comment. So if you're keeping score, as far as I know, that's 3 recent bridge strikes in the last couple of months, all of which seem a little weird to me. But I've been told it happens more often than we think. Maybe we're just noticing it more because it's being reported more now. That's what I'm going to tell myself so I can adjust my tinfoil hat. Speaking of adjusting my tinfoil hat, we're going to take what will likely be the final break of the show. Come back, get things reset, and talk about other things that have come across my desk in the last few minutes. And we're making it to the bottom of the list, so there's been some more worship music kind of floating in and out. I'm just going to go ahead and go to break with this one because I like it. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Oh, my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I worship Your holy name.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I only have a certain budget.
No problem. Right now at the LASIK Vision Institute, get 20% off LASIK when treated in April. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing options. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your journey towards 20/20 vision. Must mention this promotion and be treated in April of 2024 to qualify. 20% off standard price of wave light procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to GetLVILASIK.com for details. At the LASIK Vision Institute, we know LASIK is a big decision, and every one of our patients is unique. That's why we customize your LASIK journey to you.
I'm so busy right now.
We offer a mix of convenient days and times, including 30-minute virtual appointments to fit your schedule.
I would love it, but I have astigmatism.
We treat thousands of patients with astigmatism every month with great outcomes. The LASIK Vision Institute is making your journey towards 20/20 vision all about you. So visit GetLVILASIK.com today to start your LASIK journey.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Ready to stand out, Army ROTC prepares you not only as a college student, but as a strong leader, allowing you to earn the rank of second lieutenant. You will be eligible for full tuition merit-based scholarships and develop leadership skills essential for your future. Start strong and enhance your college experience. Visit your campus Army ROTC representative today. To find out how you can earn up to a full tuition scholarship, visit goarmy.com/podcast to locate your closest ROTC program today. Army officers inspire, strengthen others. Paid for by the United States Army.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Off of my potential future cover playlist. Absolutely love this one. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. I need somebody to do the female part, though. My voice can't get that high. Anyway, we're welcome back into the program. Final segment of the show, and we are back. We are live. This is the Rick Robinson Show. I gotta say, things aren't adding up. If you've been following along with the whole Stormy Daniels thing and her testimony, things aren't adding up. And when you've lost Bill Maher, give this a listen.
First, I asked her why she had sex with Trump. Listen to that, and then listen to what she says after that, and then we're going to talk about the trial, because it's quite a variance of what she said to me in 2018. Why did you Donald Trump?
I have no idea.
Okay, but you say it's not a Me Too case.
It is not a Me Too case. I mean, I wasn't assaulted. I wasn't attacked or raped or coerced or blackmailed. They tried to shove me in the Me Too box to further their own agenda. And first of all, I didn't want any part of that because it's not the truth, and I'm not a victim in that regard.
That's not what she's saying now. She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power, for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex...
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy.
Yeah, and of course, yes, you get your obligatory laugh line there with, oh, well, she'd never seen the likes of Donald Trump. Whatever. And Bill Maher, you could tell that he thought that was a BS answer, but he was going to let it go because it got a laugh, and that's really what that show is all about. But he makes a pretty good point.
All right, so we're going to stop that there. Sorry, I was responding to folks in the text chain and didn't realize there was more behind that than I thought there was. So anyway, so you heard Stormy Daniels 2018 talking about how it wasn't Me Too, how she wasn't assaulted, how she doesn't really know why she did what she did, but she was okay with doing it. And then you heard her this week saying the exact opposite. Or was it this week or last week? Shit, they're all blurring together now. I honestly don't know. I think it may have been last week. I think the scariest thing for me about the whole Stormy Daniels thing, though, was her being like, I see dead people. I see a dead career. Does that count? Oh, wait. My bad. But yeah, so anyway, when you've lost Bill Maher, who absolutely cannot stand Donald Trump, by the way, but is also starting to have huge issues with Biden for obvious reasons because of the rampant anti-Semitism in this country. And look, I'm not saying it's exclusive to the left. What I know is the same thing that I've been saying for a long time. It's no different than me with Christians. When Christians come out and say crazy stuff and do things like the Westboro Baptist crowd did, the Christians were the first ones to go clean up their mess. When people within our own party, we felt went too far, we did what we needed to do to try to clean up the mess. The Democrats don't do that. The Democrats are as bad as the Muslims, in my opinion, because the Muslims, if there is such a thing as a peaceful Muslim, I don't know where they are. Because they should be shouting down all of this. And I've seen one or two public figures doing it. One of which is actually the son of one of the leaders of Hamas, who's like, you guys are idiots. And if it wasn't for the fact that these tribes had a common enemy known as Israel, they would be trying to kill each other. But this goes back to something that I've been trying to explain for a long time. We keep trying to ascribe Western values and mores to these people when we can't. They do not view things the same way that we do. The Western civilization, for the most part, it's starting to change, but for the most part, has always centered around trying to make life better, trying to make life more peaceful, trying to make life more prosperous. That's been our goal for a very, very long time. That's why we've figured out how to build up civilization and technology to try to make things easier, because we don't want to have to work ourselves to death. The problem is that's when you start getting away from Scripture, because you have to work. If a man does not work, he shall not eat. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't find a creative way to work, like a lot of us have, but it does mean you still have to work. Not just sit around and do nothing. But that's where the left starts losing everybody, or gaining everybody, I guess, because we're always the folks of, go out, find your own way, make your way in the world, make your mark in the world, and the left's like, we'll just sit here on the couch and we'll take care of you. Those two things are antithetical to each other, much like the Christian faith and the Muslim faith are. The problem that I have with Muslims is if there is this variant of Muslim that is supposedly peaceful, why aren't they cleaning their own house? Now, I get it. I really do, because when you talk about the fact that there are like 1.3 billion Muslims in the world, but only 10% of those are supposedly the radicalized Muslims, that's still a really huge number. Really huge number. But again, I hate to keep using this analogy, but every time it comes up, it's one of the only ones that makes sense. You have, in the movie The Bug's Life, you had the ants ruling over all of the insects, because they were the bigger, meaner, stronger ones, but the rest of the insects actually outnumbered them. The peaceful Muslims, if they exist, and I will leave it up to you for yourself to determine if they do exist or not. I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I can't trust a faith that allows its followers to lie to people that it views as different or the enemy. So I don't really know how to respond to that. But what I will say is, if there is such a thing as peaceful Muslims, they really, really, really need to start standing up for themselves before it's too late. But why am I saying all of this? Because this is the same problem for different reasons that we've been having here. Because we keep trying to ascribe and give these cultures Western values and mores, and they don't have them. We view life as the ultimate goal. They view death as the ultimate sacrifice. And if they die in service to their God Allah, then they are guaranteed to be in paradise. Now, if you speak to people that claim to be peaceful Muslims, they say that that is a radical misinterpretation of the Quran. Having read it, I disagree. Vehemently. These people do not believe the same things that we do. These people do not want the same things that we do. And the same people that are using the colonizer buzzword about Israel and about America and how we've always been colonizers and imperialists and this, that, and the other are the first ones to tell you that they didn't come to America to assimilate, they came to colonize. What happened the last time people from another country came here to colonize? Anybody? Bueller? The native population was pretty much wiped out and subjugated. Do you think that's gonna be different now? History may not repeat itself, but it does rhyme, and the same things do happen over and over and over again, and we are headed towards one of those things. It is up to us to decide when and how we pump the brakes. For now, I would like to believe that we still have the option to pump the brakes using the ballot box. What happens this coming election cycle will tell me how wrong I am or how right I am. Because there is no way in hell that on paper Joe Biden should win. None. Even with the abortion debate. Because everything about this country's gone to hell. Not only figuratively, but starting to be that way literally. Hell, I just saw something earlier today talking about Governor Hairgel's homelessness crusade in California. Been fighting it for over 20 years at this point, and the numbers have gone up substantially. It's much like everything else. Everything the government says it's here to help with, things eventually get worse. Look at what's happened to the cost of higher education. The government stepped in to try to make higher education more affordable, and all that did was have the higher education facilities figure out ways they could raise their prices more. I mean, I remember when I was little, and college wasn't considered continued education. It was a specialized education because you were supposed to have everything that you needed to have to function in society by the time you graduated high school. So when you went on to college, it was for very specific things that you needed in whatever field of study you decided to specialize in. That's not a thing anymore. Because half the people that graduate from high school can't read past a certain level anymore. They can't do math past a certain level anymore. So when they try to go to college and they find out they have to do remedial classes, as far as the college is concerned. Now, was that the fault of the education system or the student? I say both. Now, this is when I was going to school, which was a long time ago. I mean, I am actually about to go back to college once I finish my paperwork, when I can find 5 minutes to finish it. But as far as when I graduated high school, way back in 1992, even by then it was already starting to become a problem. Because I had every math, science, social science, and every other credit I needed. But when I went to college, all of a sudden it was, well, you didn't test high enough, so now you've got to take this class too. But there's a reason why. The longer they can keep you in those seats, the more money they make off of you. And it's just like everything else. As soon as the government coffers get unleashed, the price goes up and up and up and up and up. It's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. I mean, look at the history of the railroad. when the government started awarding contracts to the competing companies, and the further they got, the more money they got from the government, the more they started padding their invoices. Everyone acts like all of this weirdness and chicanery and crookedness and creative accounting is a new thing. It's not. This has been a thing for as long as there have been governments. It wasn't as rampant as it is now, because the government still, even back then, had to go to the people and be, hey, we're trying to connect the continent. We're going to build railroads. Who wants in? Didn't want to do that anymore. All right, final thought of the show, and this is tied into the Federal Reserve. God bless Thomas Massey, because he just put out a poll today that I'm afraid is going to get him deleted, if you know what I mean. He put out a poll, I think it was today, I know I responded to it today, asking if he should submit legislation to remove the Federal Reserve. For those of you who don't understand what the Federal Reserve is, the Federal Reserve is basically the federal government's laser printer. Every time they need more money, when they don't have it, they can have them print it. It's part of the reason why the progressive income tax was implemented. It's part of the reason why they eventually decoupled us from the gold standard, because while we were coupled to the gold standard, it limited the amount of money that the Federal Reserve could print, because there had to be something physically backing the currency. Now, there still technically is. This is the part of it that nobody really understands, but this is also what keeps causing our economy to go nuts. Every time a leftist says, we're going to get rid of oil, our money's basically backed by oil right now, because there still has to be some sort of backing. Now, oil is less stable and more volatile than gold, which is another reason why there's all kinds of issues with our currency now. The other thing is, the more currency we have in circulation, the less it's worth. But the other thing that most people don't know anymore, because they hear Federal Reserve, federal, and they think it's a giant government bank, except it's not. It's actually a privately held bank wrapped in a flag. So what I need you to understand, and we'll get into more of this tomorrow, because it's going to be one of the main topics of the show. If you really start looking at everything, there are about 4 companies that run about 90% of this country that lead back to 4 trusts, which then lead to 2 trusts, which lead to 1 trust. Now that's bad enough, because that means pretty much everything that we buy, sell, or could possibly own, these people have their fingers in the pie somewhere. And it all traces back to 1 group. Now we're going to take things a little bit further, because you've been hearing about deep state and how there's people in the administration that basically, because they are baked into the administration at this point in the executive branch, so they're not going anywhere. Do you really think that the bank that prints the U.S. money isn't the one pulling the strings behind the scenes? I understand how much deep state scares everybody. I really, really do. And I understand how much everybody's convinced that Barack Obama is the one secretly running the country right now. That may or may not be true. But I guarantee you he's answering to the people that can print the money. Crossing the Streams tomorrow. Juxtaposition meets the Rick Robinson Show. Been working on this one for a while. So, unfortunately, we've reached the point where I have to tell you this one's over. But make sure you're back tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
What? Over? Did you say over?
Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
This isn't over until I say it's over!
Closing time.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? Game over, man. It's game over.
Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time. This room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come.
I love you, Oklahoma. What a great crowd. I love you.